Om Sthapakaya cha dharmasya sarvadharmasvarupine avatara varishtaya Ramakrishnaya te namaha. How can one expect to attain God without renunciation? Suppose one thing is placed upon other, how can you get the second without removing the first? One must pray to God without any selfish desire, but selfish worship, if practiced with perseverance, it gradually turned into selfless worship. Dhruva practiced tapasya to obtain his kingdom, but at last he realized God. He said, "Why should a man give up gold if he gets it while searching for glass beads?" Maybe that you are going to God for sakes of something. Each time God gives you that, you will see, oh, what did I pray for? Why did I pray for this? That after getting, you see it has no value at all. Whatever of this world, it is only I have invited some trouble, that's all. I have acquired some trouble. Suppose you get wealth, well, getting it also is a trouble. Preserving it also is a trouble. Spending it also is a trouble. When it is lost also, whatever happens. So everything is, what we need is tremendous strength, perseverance, and all that along with divine help. And whatever we do, if it is done for God, we don't feel, I should not have had this at all. Now I have wealth with which I can serve God, I can serve people. It is not going to bind me. If it is for the welfare of others, if it is for the service of God, then it is a great thing to possess. It is going to fill my stomach, aggrandize my senses. Then it's a curse. The money has become a curse. If I turn towards enjoyment, the same money has become a curse for me. God can be realized when a man acquires sattva, rajatama. Now, the little understanding of sattva, rajatama, when the universe appears, three things, in the ideation before the universe appears, in the Ichha Shakti of the Divine Mother, the three Shaktis manifest this universe, Ichha Shakti, Kriya Shakti, Jnana Shakti. Mother will say, I want to become this universe. I want to become all beings. I want to become a universe. So the ideation begins. With that ideation, I have to Ichha Shakti. The Kriya Shakti starts working for the formation of the universe. Akasha, Vayu, Agni, Rapa, Advya, Prithivya, Oshadeya, tak, evolutes are coming out, one after the other. So the evolutes, Kriya Shakti, Jnana Shakti is managing whole thing, how the creation must be there. Now, the whole process in the universe. What is this universe? What should be there? One is, I must be able to see and understand. Jivas must be able to see, interact with the external world. So cognition, first is to recognize, to understand. There is a table, there is a fruit, there is a water. This cognizing and understanding. Who am I to understand myself within? I am a human being. He is a monkey, that is a monkey. All these things, identification is cognition. One is cognition is necessary. There must be senses and sense objects. Cognition. There is mind to calculate. With this I can do that. With this I can do that. I want to make some rice pudding. Or with rice, if I do like this, it will. Knowledge, jnana, buddhi, in manas, intellect. This whole process, the senses, mind and intellect form the one group of called cognitive option, cognitive power, cognitive instruments. The whole cognitive system is there. This is called sattva, where the heart to love, to participate, to take things seriously is also included in that sattva. Then activities must be there, coming, going, movements, constant, time and space is working. If changes are not there, time won't be there. Every object must be constantly changing. Time is working on everything. So time is registered by the changes. So body is changing every moment. Shape is changing, color is changing. Every moment it is changing. This change is the time, registers time. Time is there means changes are there. Changes are created by time, kala, space and desha kala. Now, when the time is there, the thing is moving. So movement, first is cognition, movement, and matter must be there. The movement is called rajas, cognition is called sattva, and matter, this matter. What is a matter? So matter, mind and senses, cognition, pancha jnanendriya, pancha karmendriya, pancha prana, pancha karmendriya, action, parts of action, organs of action, pancha karmendriya, belong to rajas. Pancha jnanendriya, I am able to think, I am able to cognize, I am able to imagine. This I am able to calculate, I am able to create with my intellect. So all this belong to cognition. In sattva, rajas and tamas. Matter is tamas. So sattva is not matter. It is tamas. Rajas is activity. Sattva is sattva. Pure love, pure intellect, pure mind. God can be realized when a man acquires sattva, running after the activities, this, that, earnings, possession, all this comes under rajas. And the enjoyments come under tamas. I am getting angry, I want to destroy. All this comes under tamas. So tamas is matter, behaving like matter. Without any senses and sensation. It's called tamas. So sattva, one must acquire sattva, means that rajasic tendencies to run behind the enjoyments and possessions. that Rajas, and Tamas to be material like Alasya, Nidra and all this is Tamas. So Sattva has to slowly reduce, get rid of the Rajas. What is creating? Desires, actions as per desires inside. Desires are creating the action, then it is Rajas. So desires are given up, Rajas. Tamas, Alasya, Nidra, hatred, all these are given up and Sattva is preserved. Householders engage in philanthropic work such as charity, mostly with a motive. Now, I want to give some charity, I get a meritorious act and I will get something in return. Or my child is sick. Now I want to give some charity, my child is going to become well. So this kind of desire behind, mostly with a motive, that is not good. But actions without motives are good. Yet it is very difficult to leave motives out of one's actions. To do any act without an intention, a motivation, something is hinting behind, something is wanting behind. I am doing all this, I am doing japa, maybe for my health or my child's job. Something I haven't behind stands. Even otherwise, simple spiritual practices also, you are sincerely doing, still the innermost desire, which is covering God, is the first what is fulfilled. Later on, others come into picture. That's not good. But actions without motives are good. Yet it is very difficult to leave motives out of one's actions. Action I want to do without any motive, selfless work, selfless service. It is very difficult or not possible for all. Then must not one perform the acts of compassion? When you realize God, you will pray to Him. Will you pray to Him, O God, please grant me I may dig reservoirs, build roads, and found hospitals and dispensaries. After realization of God, all such desires are left behind. Because what is going to be destroyed, I am trying to preserve or protect. Oh. And nature is fully taking care of every bit, everything, what is to be taken care. My ego is alone driving me in various ways. Please grant we don't pray like that. Then, must not one perform acts of compassion such as charity to the poor? I don't forbid it, Sri Ramakrishna says. If a man has money, he should give it to remove the sorrows and sufferings that come to his notice. I have money, but a genuine person is in real need of money for a particular thing. Suppose he doesn't have food to eat. There is no harm in giving. I have it. And nature and God, how much happy they will be. It is nature's part to take care of all those people. All beings are taken care by the nature. And someone is participating. The mother feels so happy when the children work for others. Like that, this special love of Divine Mother, and God will be there. God's grace will be always there on them. If a man's money, if a man has money, he should give it to remove the sorrows and sufferings that come to his notice. In such an event, the wise man says, "Give the poor something," but inwardly he feels, "What can I do? God alone is the doer, I am nothing." The ego is not fulfilled. The ego has to be transcended. The cause of all our suffering, bondage, and karmic load is the ego. I am doer. Ego has three aspects: I know, I act, and I enjoy. Kartritva, doership; bhoktritva, enjoyership; and knowership, jnatritva. But this jnana is external jnana of the physical world. We don't have spiritual jnana. Little what I have studied or what Guru has told us is the only support of knowledge. The great souls, deeply affected by the suffering of men, show them the way to God. Shankaracharya kept the ego of knowledge in order to teach mankind. The gift of knowledge and devotion is far superior to the gift of food. Therefore, Chaitanya Deva distributed bhakti to all, including the outcast. Happiness and sufferings are the inevitable characteristics of this body. You have come to eat mangoes, fill that desire. The one thing needful is jnana and bhakti. God alone is substance and all else is illusory. Where we are coming, you see. The ego. When I do kartritva, bhoktritva, jnatritva, this goes with ego. I do this. The kartritva immediately binds. I am the doer. For every act you have to repay. How much time it will take to repay? Little by little, little by. Doing is one act, doing is few minutes of time. But to pass through the consequences, it takes long time. We are continuously doing karma because of our ego, kartritva. How to get rid of this ego and do without unintentional doing. I do without any intention behind. Love for love's sake, not for my sake. Service for serving sake, not for my sake. I don't want anything by serving anything. Nor I have anything. Nor the instruments I am using belongs to me. Neither body belongs to me, nor my mind belongs to me, nor my senses, nor my intellect. All this, nothing belongs to me. So I cannot have a claim over anything that is being done by this body-mind complex. So that intention is given up. I don't want anything from this. I do just out of love for God. Shankaracharya kept the ego of knowledge. The one thing needed is jnana and bhakti. God alone is substance and all else is illusory. It is God alone who does everything. You may say that in that case, man may commit sin. But that is not true. If God alone who is doing everything, it is God alone who is doing everything, not man. We saw in last class also, everything is happening. The indweller within. If spirit is not there or consciousness is not there, neither body works, nor mind works, nor senses work. So, nothing can work, neither ego nor body. It just remains. Even a consciousness is there. God being there, universe is moving. God being there, I am able to work, do everything. If God is not there, I cannot do anything. God is existence, so you cannot do anything. God alone is doing everything, because without Him nothing can happen, nothing can be there. You may say that in case of man, in that case, man may commit sin. But that is not true. If man is firmly convinced that God alone is the doer and that he himself is doing, then he will never make false step. The deep understanding within. God is doer. He is seeing. His identity independent of God is not there. Nor any object, nor any living being, including plants and trees, can work without the God's presence. The Adhara of existence is God. The Adhara is God. We are all standing, we are living on that Adhara. Life is existing on that Adhara, God. So, God alone who has planted in man's mind. It is God alone who has planted in man's mind what the Englishman calls free will. Free will has been placed. I have free will, I can do anything I want. That free will is there. Free will, God has planted it. People who have not realized God would become engaged in more and more sinful acts if God had not planted in them the notion of free will. Sin would have increased if God had not made the sinner feel that he alone is responsible for his own sin. The awareness, it is called moral urge. I want to be good. I don't want to do. But if when things happen by my hand, something not to be done, unrighteous thing if I do, guilt formation, conscience within. I feel guilt, I have done it. Many of the things which we are doing is unpardonable, not to God or nature, to myself. Why did I do that? Why did I do that? Many people feel after having done it, and they are not able to come out of it. Again and again they will be doing the same mistake. Now, what happened to their will? So, God keeps within that he may not go more and more doing sin without awareness. The guilt formation is kept. Since internal feelings are kept, that he is safe without being hurt. All these are the protective systems in nature. If a man gets a blow, he immediately becomes unconscious, because the life has to be preserved by nature. Nature has made a system, like our electricity now. Some load comes suddenly, there is a trip out, it gets tripped. Tatak, it goes off. Because somewhere grounding or something, load has suddenly fallen. Formerly it is to fuse. Still earlier, whole thing would catch fire. So to avoid the catching fire of the building, they kept one fuse. fuse used to burn. Now, fuse putting, again take it out, put the fuse wire and put it. Now it just trips down. And you have to go and the tripping down is a protective phase of this nature. In us, in humans, there is a defense force within, protective things, what we call immunity power. It becomes immune to things. That immunity power is there, protective system is there, which makes me unconscious. The moment it goes like that, moment I do a mistake, it starts eating me from within. That is placed by God. Feeling love. When the Thakur says, mothers and fathers, God has kept the love for their children to bring them up. God has kept love in the heart of mother as a child grows. If you don't apply only to humans, you can see the animals. But in animals, what happens? It gives whole life for that child and protects that child from all dangers, brings it to growth. The moment the bird is able to fly, the moment the puppy is able to walk, it doesn't allow to come back near. My purpose is over. You have your life now. In humans, they try to cling to it, but in nature. But how the nature keeps the track, you see, and maintains that. The child, for the child's sake, the mother instinct, how it builds the nest. Beautiful nests it builds for the child. The moment the egg is forming in the womb, it has already got the mother's instinct to do all this for the coming up baby. So the whole system is now, is man doing or God doing? When we see all this is fully taken care and happening automatically without our will participating it, it is happening. Who taught the bird building up the nest? It has seen his mothers and grandfathers. No, it is instinctively. Suppose a small bird is taken in a new place and placed without seeing the mother building a nest. It does its nest because it comes from within. God has placed that knowledge is already there in it. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.